Hey y'all, so today I'm going to be doing my summer book haul. I have not done a book haul since my March-April book haul, and I've been slowly and sometimes quickly collecting books over the summer, so I decided that before I move to school for the fall, I should do a book haul for all of the books that I bought this summer. And there are a lot of books on this haul, so I'm not going to waste much time. Let's just jump into it and quickly run through the books that I got this summer. So the first books that I bought this summer, I legitimately forgot had not been in a book haul yet, and I almost forgot to include them, and that is the box set of the Scott Pilgrim graphic novel series. I got these as kind of like a graduation present for myself, and I read them in May, and I haven't thought that much about them since, and then I realized that they hadn't been in a book haul yet. I talked about these a lot in May and the beginning of June. Overall, I enjoyed this series, and I really like having the entire box set. The next three books that I bought this summer are a trilogy, so I'll just show them together, and that is the Reckoners trilogy by Brandon Sanderson, which is made up of Steelheart, Firefight, and Calamity. As you can see, I accidentally purchased Calamity in a much larger size than I have the other two in, so I might remedy that eventually. But overall, once again, a really enjoyable series. I love Brandon Sanderson, I've said that many times. I read all of them in May and June, so you can check out my wrap-ups for those months if you want to see my further opinions on these. Also, in case you didn't know, these are the UK covers, which I got on the Book Depository. The next book that I bought this summer was the graphic novel version of The Merchant of Death, which is the first book in the Pendragon series by DJ McHale. I love the Pendragon series, I talk about it a lot on my channel, and I totally forgot that there was a graphic novel adaptation of the first book until I saw it in Half Price Books. So I picked it up, I read it, and overall I liked it. It's included in my June wrap-up, so if you want to see more about this book, you can check it out there. And links to all these things that I mentioned will be either in the description or in the cards so that you can find them really easily. The next book that I got this summer was Don't Look Back by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I read this at the very end of April and absolutely loved it. It was so fast-paced, so engrossing, I could not put this book down, and I had checked it out from the library, so I decided to buy a copy for myself because I loved it so much. The next book that I bought was The First 15 Lives of Harry August by Claire North. This has been high up on my TBR for a very long time because Reagan from Peruse Project raves and raves and raves about this book. I got it in June and I have yet to pick it up and actually read it, but I definitely want to pick it up soon because, like I said, she said great things about it and I'm really excited to get to it. The next book that I bought was Shades of Earth by Beth Revis. This is the third book in the Across the Universe trilogy, and this is just a duplicate copy for me. I had it in paperback, I found this in hardcover for $3 at Half Price Books, and I couldn't pass that up, so I went ahead and got it. The next book is actually one that was sent to me, and that is Finnick by J.R. Ramsey. This was sent to me by Apollo Press in exchange for an honest review, and I haven't gotten to it yet, but it is on my list of things to read for August, and it sounds really interesting, so I hope to get to it within the next few weeks. So this is the part of the trip where my family and I took a trip to a pretty big city, and they had a bunch of half-price books there, and so I ended up buying several books. And the first 5 of those books are all within the same series, and those are books 2 through 6 of the Charlie Bone series by Jenny Nimmo. So just very quickly, those books are Book 2, Charlie Bone and the Time Twister, Book 3, Charlie Bone and the Invisible Boy, Book 4, Charlie Bone and the Castle of Mirrors, Book 5, Charlie Bone and the Hidden King, and Book 6, Charlie Bone and the Beast. This is a series that I read and enjoyed as a kid, and I sold all of my books to a half-price bookstore and instantly regretted it. So I am buying all of the books again in hopes of eventually rereading the series and completing it because I don't think I ever finished the last 1 or 2 books in the series. And then while we were out of town, I also ended up getting several comics and manga. The first of which is Fables Volume 1 by Bill Willingham and several other people. This is a series that I've been very curious about for a really long time, and when I saw Volume 1 at Half Price Books for $5, I decided to go for it. I'm not sure how much I'm going to like the art style, but it's a really intriguing concept that I've been thinking about picking up for a long time, so with the inexpensive price tag, I had to pick it up. Also at Half Price Books, I found the manga adaptation of Clockwork Princess by Cassandra Clare, which is the third book in the Infernal Devices trilogy. I have volume 1 and I checked out volumes 2 and 3 from the library back in March and read the series, and of course since it's Cassandra Clare, I loved it. And like with the book series, this was my favorite book in the series, so when I found this for $5 at Half Price Books, I couldn't pass it up. So then we went into Barnes & Noble, and typically in Barnes & Noble I can control myself because things are a lot more expensive in the Barnes & Noble store than they are on their website or on Amazon, so usually I can stop myself from buying stuff. And then I was perusing the shelves and I discovered that they had a sale going on where if you buy 2 manga, you could get a 3rd free. So after I found the 3 manga volumes that I was looking for, I went on Amazon and I did a little searching, and I discovered that buying the 2 get 1 free at Barnes & Noble was actually cheaper than buying the 3 of them on Amazon, so I went ahead and got them. So the first of those that I got was Monster Volume 1. Raylene read this sometime in the spring and really enjoyed it and recommended it for fans of Death Note, and I love Death Note, so I have been meaning to pick it up ever since, and it's been something that's been really intriguing me, so I saw this and I picked it up immediately, and I hope to get to it soon. And I was also super excited to find the first volume of the Sword Art Online manga series. I'm not entirely sure the order that they need to be read after this one as far as the manga series, so someone let me know down in the comments because I don't know what I'm doing, but I did know that this was the first one that I needed to start with, so this is where I'm starting. This is one that I've been meaning to get to for a while because it's all about like online virtual gameplay and it sounds super cool, so obviously I'm excited. And then the one that I ended up getting free, which is another series that I've been wanting to start, is the bind-up of the first 3 volumes of Full Metal Alchemist. For some reason, my brain lumps together Attack on Titan and Full Metal Alchemist, maybe because they're like the most well-known manga series, but I keep going back and forth as to which one I wanted to start, and I've heard that Full Metal Alchemist is a little bit easier to get into for people who are trying to get into manga, so I decided to go with Full Metal Alchemist. Overall, I've heard a lot of great things about this series, and I'm really excited to see what all the hype is about and to start the anime series as well. And I've heard that Brotherhood is the best one to watch because it's truer to the manga series, but once again, let me know down in the comments if that's true because I am a manga noob. So then I went into yet another Half Price Books and I found even more books, and this is going to round out the book haul. The first book that I found there was Peril at End House by Agatha Christie. I had already planned on reading this during the Booktubeathon and had checked it out from the library, so when I saw this at Half Price Books and it was in the edition I wanted, I couldn't pass it up. I picked it up and I read it in the Booktubeathon, and it is included in my July wrap-up if you would like to check that out. And the next book that I got there was The Body in the Library by Agatha Christie. Once again, this was already on my Booktubeathon TBR, and I had checked it out from my library, and this was at the same Half Price Books as Peril at End House, and so I was really excited. I, once again, couldn't pass it up. I love these editions, so I got it. And then I also picked up The Iron Trial by Holly Black and Cassandra Clare, which I also read for the Booktubeathon, and it was also on my Booktubeathon TBR before finding it for $2 at Half Price Books. Once again, I did read it for the Booktubeathon, and it is included in my July wrap-up. And finally, the last book in this haul, unless I'm completely forgetting something, is The Sweet Far Thing by Libba Bray. So this is the 3rd book in her Gemma Doyle trilogy, and I've only read The Diviners by Libba Bray, but I loved the historical fiction slash paranormal aspect to it, and that's essentially what the Gemma Doyle trilogy is too, although it's set in a completely different time period. So I have high hopes for the series, and I now have all 3 books, so I could marathon them if I wanted to. So those are all the books that I bought this summer. I know it sounds like a really insane, crazy amount, but I've actually read the vast majority of these already. Some of them I had already read before buying them, some of them I have read since buying them, but I want to say that there were like 30-ish books in this haul, and I have read at I think like 20 or 21 of them. Also, by the way, I did check on my library stats as far as my read versus unread percentage, since that's one of my 2016 challenges, and with all the back and forth, I am still at 35.5% of my library being my TBR, so I haven't really done that much damage with all of these books. So I just counted and there were 28 books in this haul, but there were only 7 that I haven't read, so I feel like that is just a win all around. Lots of new books, and my TBR isn't ruined. And given that I just said that there are 28 books in this haul, I'm not going to be picking it up for this outro just because I don't think I physically could. So that is it for my summer book haul. As I said earlier in the video, any links that I have mentioned will be either in the cards or down in the description, so you can check out any of the videos that I've mentioned. Let me know down in the comments if you have read any of these books and what you thought of them. As always, I will leave links down in the description to my blog, Twitter, and Goodreads. Please add me as a friend on Goodreads. I would love to be friends with all of you. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!